What's going on, guys? Welcome to this installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs, and I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I think we're going to begin the engine teardown process. And I wasn't sure if I really wanted to do that yet or not, because I don't have, I don't have the gasket kits yet to, actually fix or replace anything at this time. But I have nothing else to do today. Even though it's scorching hot outside and the sun is very bright, it is supposed to rain at some point, so the clouds should be rolling in soon. I've decided, I just want to start getting into it and just start having things apart, maybe start prepping things for, replacement and repair. So I just figured I'm going to go ahead and start doing it. I don't know how far I'm going to get, to be honest with you, because I know some of the tools that I used when I had the Aztec engine, to tear all the Aztec engine apart, some of those tools are at work. So I don't know how far I'm going to get today with what I have at home. I'll probably have to bring some of my other tools back here to finish it. And I don't know when this vlog's going to air. Today is August 23rd. 2020, so I'm assuming this is probably going to be documented over the course of days, weeks, hopefully not months. I'd like to have this thing put back together, running and roadworthy by the end of fall, hopefully sooner than that, but I definitely want to make sure that I want to make sure that the car is drivable by winter. And yes, I will probably drive this car in the winter. I'm very eager to drive this thing. So there's not as much work that has to be done to it mechanically to get it back on the road compared to what I had to do with the Aztec. The Aztec sat in this spot for a year and a half before it was finally ready to go on the road. This one should not take that long. The engine is the main issue. Again, I still don't know if the engine has to be replaced. Be quite honest, I'm probably not going to replace it. We're going to replace the gaskets, that lifter. I'll probably end up replacing all the lifters just as a precaution. And then we're going to run it. And if any other issues arise that say, hey, you need a new engine, then we'll just, do it as at that point in time. But we're going to try to salvage this one, I think. So yeah, once the engine's done, once the engine's done, rebuilt, this thing, all it really needs are tires. It needs 4 tires. The tires on this thing are pretty whipped. That's it. Everything else should be in good standing to be driven. So not as much work. It's just the engine and tires. So that's it. Like I said, I don't know how long this is going to take. We're going to document this as we go along, and we're going to start the process today. So let me get my socket set out of the trunk. We'll take a look under the hood, and we'll go from there. Alright, the 3400 V6. This one, if you haven't been following along, I like to use this as an example. Oh, I forgot. We changed the oil in it. Anyway, so it's got a big intake leak. So we're going to do intake gaskets, head gaskets. You can kind of see it running down the side there. External leakage. And yeah, we had, it don't look so bad now. It hasn't really been mixed up, but we had 8.25 quarts of nasty milkshake come out in the last Grand Am vlog that we did, and I put some fresh oil in it, and honestly I started it in that video and that was the only time that it's ran ever since. So it's got clean oil in it. It's obviously not all going to stay in there, but I wanted to get that nasty milkshake out. So I think today, like I said, I'm probably not going to get very far. I would like to get at least like the plenum, the upper plenum off, all of these other accessories, and I don't know, I know on this particular car there's a motor mount here, and that's going to have to come off when we get ready to do the power steering pump removal, I think. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not really sure where it goes. I think it's connected to the heads, or maybe it's connected to the block. I'm not sure. I don't know how that motor mount is actually on the engine itself, but I know that's gonna have to come off in this particular application. We don't have any dog bone mounts up front like we did with the Aztec, so that means I don't have to pull the air conditioner compressor, because the one particular mount was underneath the AC compressor, so we don't got to worry about that. Probably going to have to order another bypass tube. It's not as bad as the one that was on the Aztec, but since it's going to be off, we might as well get another one. It is, all the paint's coming off, and I'm sure in time it probably will want to leak. If I'm replacing that one, we're probably going to have to replace the one that's on the back side. This car is hot, man. You can't see the other one. Yeah, it's down there. Where are you? I'm getting a glare on my screen, so I can't see what I'm focusing on. Right there. Yeah, so it goes into the actual lower plenum, and it runs, and both of those go to the heater core. Heater hoses back there. So might as well, once they're off, we might as well order those. Those were relatively cheap. I think I got them on eBay when I bought the ones for the Aztec. And other than that, everything else for the most part is pretty much in a similar fashion to when I had to tear the Aztec engine apart. A couple of little exceptions here and there. Some of the wiring harness are in a different location, so like this would be the harness for the fuel injectors and whatnot. Right here on the Aztec they kind of laid here. On this application they are here, and they are pushed into the alternator, so we just have to pry that out and disconnect it. The power steering lines are on the top side of the pump instead of going down below, so I kind of wonder if them being here, if it's going to make it easier for me to actually pull this pump out, because me and these power steering pumps on these 3400s do not get along. They are a pain usually to take off, an even bigger pain to try to get in. But I haven't done one where the lines follow upward. They usually travel down. So maybe I'll get lucky this time and it'll come up and go in pretty easy. I don't know how the exhaust is bolted on back there. I'm assuming it's similar to the Tech. But if I can avoid it, yeah, down there, maybe a little bit easier to get to this time around, but if I can avoid actually taking the exhaust manifolds off in the car anyway, I'd like to try to pull the heads off with the crossover pipe intact in one shot. That'd be nice, and then I can deal with the exhaust manifolds, because I don't want to end up breaking any studs. But they're probably rusted. I don't know how old they are. Our new head gasket kit usually comes with new manifold gaskets, and I would like to replace them, but it might be easier to deal with those when the heads are off. So if I can avoid getting those off or taking those off, then for the time being I will. I think everything else is pretty much the same. I'm going to say yeah. I don't think there's too much of a difference from there. So I think we're going to get started. The first thing I'm going to do, I don't know if I can do it with my fingers. I might need a screwdriver. Oh, get one. There we go. I'm going to pull the ram air cowl off. That'll definitely open up some more room here. There we go. They're a little worn. That there. So yeah, that opens up some space. Looks pretty much like a Grand Am without ram air. And then we're going to disconnect that battery. Okay, battery's disconnected. And I might actually just take the battery out this time. Keep it in the house maybe. Grab the long extension just because. And we'll grab our 15 and our 13. The majority of everything that we're going to be taking off is going to be either a 13 or 15. Got a couple of 10s. Got a few the coils are going to be 5.5 mil, half-inch. Yep, that's a little bit better. Alright, so the battery's out now. And now I'm going to remove the, loosen up the air cleaner and just kind of work my way to the throttle body, I guess. With the battery gone, you can get a good angle of the leak. Some of the leak, if I wasn't in the way of the sun. But doesn't matter what I do, it's still in the way of the sun. So we'll get a taste of what this air filter looks like. It's a Phillips head, but I got a flathead in there just because the flathead's a little wider. Battery's in the trunk for now. I don't have it on the concrete or anything on this hot ground. Just so you know. Wow. Look at that. It's actually a really clean air filter. No way. That's cool. So I don't have to buy an air filter. This looks good. So we'll stick that back in there once I have two hands available. The next thing I'm going to do, we need to, well, I'm going to start disconnecting this. This goes to the back valve cover. It's a fresh air breather hose. And we have to remove the throttle cables and the throttle bracket, which is here. I do believe those are 210 millimeters. Oh, I thought one of those was loose already. Got to remove our throttle cables, throttle and cruise cables. I'm going to need two hands for that. Don't know which cable goes to which. This first one here lines up and it goes to the cruise control module on the other side of the engine compartment. So the one over here is our cruise. Just pop that off like that. So the cruise is disconnected, and the one for the actual accelerator, gotta open that up all the way and it should snap out. And this one, because this has the plastic, you gotta pull it out from the end and then pull the cable through the middle on the bottom. Maybe. Come on. Oh, there, like that. I think I'm getting it. No? Oh. No, it's a little different than I thought. It's a ball. Nope. Yeah, it's like almost like a ball. Huh. Alright, so those are off. Is that oil? Or am I sweating? I might be sweating. The sun's killing me. 2 10s, and then there's another bolt right under here, right behind this bracket. You can't see it. It's on a stud, and once that's off, you should be able to remove that bracket and get those cables out of the way. And then we're going to remove our fresh air tube, the intake tube, along with the cover. We can unplug our mass airflow sensor. The plug's right here. The mass airflow sensor is coming off with it. So we got that one. I do believe this one on the back side of this tube is our IAC, or no, it might be our IAT, intake air temperature sensor. Pull the prong. Gotta wiggle it out a little bit. There we go. And that should be all that's connected to this tube. Then we take our flathead. Probably take it off right now, actually. Wedge it up in there, loosen the clamp. Somebody behind me is having a fun time. And I think from there we should be able to wiggle this off. Nope. There we go. Who knows how long it's been since it's been off. There we go. Move our air filter. Oh, our throttle cables are connected to this. So it looks like we could slide them out. 1 and 2. There we go. Just like that. Now we can put our air filter back in. Like so, and that should be just fine. I hate those coolant tubes under that throttle body. That throttle body looks disgusting. Ooh. Yeah, she gonna need clean. And both of these ones on the top are 10s this time. When I did the Aztec, somebody had a 10 and somebody had an 8. They were both the same size thread pitch and whatnot, but the heads were different. So on this one, which I think is the correct way, both of these are 10s. I kind of miss my engine compartment of the Aztec because I kind of had like a deep shelf where I was able to store tools and stuff that were kind of hidden behind the front fascia. Obviously I don't have that anymore. Oh, should have got an extension. There we go. Stay on. Alright, so right now I'm on that 10mm bolt that's on the stud for this bracket. Let's see if it's at the end there. Alright. If I can get my hands in there. No, not yet. Yeah, just like that. I'm going to put all these bolts and stuff back on, all these parts, once, you know, they're out and clear of everything else. So that should be it. Should be wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Well, connected to that. Where's that screwdriver? See if we can just open this up instead of pulling that Christmas tree out. There, just like that. There we go. That's it. And looks like we still have some cables held in place. So just slide up. So first one there, the transmission cable, which is a little thicker on the end there. Let's see if we can. There we go. I guess technically we leave that one there. Now we should be able to move this up way out of the way. There we go. Alright, so next up on the agenda, I'm sure that there is a petcock on that radiator to drain it. I don't know if I can get to it though. I don't really feel like putting the car up simply because I don't even know if that jack's gonna work when I need to, oh, there it is, cool. I don't even know if that jack's gonna work when I have to raise the engine up to get that mount off, that motor mount. I have no idea. So I got my clean base in here. We're gonna try to drain the coolant out. This is the petcox right there. Then all the fluid should just come out somewhere on the bottom, I believe, but that's good. So I think we need a Allen key that goes in there. Let's get a ratchet and see what happens. I'm assuming it's lefty loosey, righty tighty from this angle. Oh, nope, I don't think it's turning. Let's try it the other way. Nope, nope, I don't think that's gonna work. It feels like it's just spinning in there. Well, that didn't work out so well. So either the radiator is empty or that petcock really isn't moving. So I guess what I'm gonna do is try to get this one off. And like I said, I don't have the best of tools right now, so we might not be able to do this part of it today, if these will spread wide enough. Alright, so I got it down off of the assembly there. Wonder how easy it's going to come off. It's stuck. Got some coolant out of it already. Might just have to give it a good tug. See if it'll come off. Oh, let's see. Come on. Oh. Well, I was expecting more, but oh well. Let's see if we can push this hose over. I think most of it got in the basin. The hose don't look that bad. Not terrible. I expected it to be worse. So I gotta get the top one off now. I don't think there's gonna be anything in the top one. These are just Dollar General pliers that I had to buy on a whim the one day. They're not that good. That's all I've got right now. But as long as they do the job, I can't complain. Let's get that down there. Yeah, empty. Alright, so now I'm going to undo the rest of the sensors on this throttle body. One of these is a throttle position sensor, which I'm assuming is this one here. This is probably the IAC right here, the intake air control, or idle air control. We got our EVAP, not EVAP, our EGR. Is this different than the, probably from the inside? Yeah, inside. I was told we might have to replace this. This car did have a service engine light when I bought it, and it had an EGR code and both oxygen sensors. So those for sure need to be swapped or changed. This is our evap purge. That's it. So we kind of got that out of the way. So far I'm liking this. There's a little more room compared to the Aztec. Alright, so all the sensors are done. So we have this bolt here, and there's another bolt here, and as you can see it's another stud. So we got to take that stud off. Also, that's probably also a 10. Then we have to pry these two coolant hoses off of the throttle body with these little clips here, push them up, pry these hoses off, and then we have to bend this bracket a little bit to get that to move out. Then we can reach the actual bolt or the stud that holds the throttle body, and then from there we should be able to pull that off. I think I'm running. Oh yeah, that kind of went over a little more than I was hoping. I lied. It's a 13. That was close. I know it doesn't help. That was close.
geez, here's my 13 now. There it is. Yeah, 13. So the stud's probably a 13 also, and yes it is. So here comes the fun part of trying to get these coolant lines off. It's a lot easier when you can get to them from the side though. I'll tell you that. So that way it gives us a little play. Oops, you're falling. Yeah, perfect. If we can reach it. I don't think these needle nose are good enough. Let's try down here. Yeah, we'll just do it like that. Then we can probably bend it back, once we are getting ready to put it back together. Well, no, actually, technically, I'm probably ordering a new one of these. So, it doesn't really make a difference if I destroy this one or not. But if you're going to keep it, then you might want to not destroy it. This air filter's on an incline. Yeah, something like that. Oh. We have a bleeder. So soon. Air cleaner got me when those pliers slipped off. Oh, there's blood on the air cleaner too. Right down in there. Oh well. Clean that up a little bit. That's probably gonna bleed because it's on my knuckle. So we have our socket on the actual stud. We should be able to twist it now. Oh, there we go. And that should release this throttle body. Then, once the throttle body's loose, we could probably actually try to get those hoses off. That's how I did it before. It's kind of difficult to pull them off, they're so small. Alright, so throttle body's now pretty much off. I took the pliers, kind of wiggled the hose back and forth, and that makes it easier to pry once it's not stuck on there anymore. So I did that with this other one too. We should be able to get them off with our fingers, and here we go. Our disgusting throttle body. Whoop, don't lose the stud. Yeah, she needs a cleaning. Gasket came off too. Hey, the clouds are coming in. It's about time. I'm roasting. Okay. Get this stud. So this is the point where I'm going to put this back here because we're done with that. So let's get that threaded in there. Just enough, and then put the bolt on here also. Come on. Stupid bypass hose. If I had two hands, this would be easier, but I'm documenting this, for you guys. Take the top bolt, put it where it goes, so we don't lose it. And while we're on that subject, take the other two screws for the top of the throttle plate. them here where they go. It's just easier to do it this way. For me anyway, that way I know where everything is. You don't have a huge pile of bolts. There we go. And then on the throttle body itself, we have that other little stud attached to the throttle body. Put that other nut from earlier back on also. There, that way, that's all together. That's that stud for that throttle cable bracket. Well, since I'm working my way from here to there for the time being, we might as well disconnect the rest of our sensors and maybe remove them. Maybe our coils also. So we unplugged this half of the harness already, so it looks like we're going down here. These are going to be all of our harness for the ignition control module. So there should be two on this side, and there are. Can't really see them as well. Got one off. This is the one of the ones that they spliced into. That one wire there, you can see the tape for that stupid remote start system. There's the crank sensor one that we just unplugged. So that's both of those from that. There's another sensor, or another one going down, I think. Where does this one go? I can't see. I think it's... No, that's not part of that. Okay, so we got both of those off there. And then the harness goes downward, probably to the oxygen sensor, so we'll wait to do that when we get our coils off, and we'll be able to see it. And speaking of coils, let's go ahead and do that now. So we'll take all the spark plug wires off. I plan on getting spark plug wires. I see some grease on that one there. Only one. Oh, that one's got grease. No grease. I don't see grease. No grease. And grease. All of the even or odd numbered cylinders have grease on them. Interesting. We are going to get new spark plug wires because these, I don't know, who knows how old these are. So we'll grab here at the front, twist, 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 and pull. Beautiful. Twist, 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 and pull. Nice. One more up front. Twist, 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 and pull. Uh-oh. That one does want to come off. It's in a rough spot with the dipstick tube in the way also. Cool, it's off. Okay, so none of the actual wires broke in there, that's good. We'll worry about the back plugs when we get access to that head. But we'll take the coils and the module off. I'm a pro at this. I've had to do it so many times. I think my 5.5 is still in the trunk. So 5.5 millimeter on each coil. 2 actually. Once all 3 coils are out, the module just comes right off. There is another connector on the left side of the module that we'll have to unplug. We haven't gotten that far yet. Probably unplug it now. It's down over here, closer to the radiator or the alternator. There. Okay, it's out. So now the module should be free once all these coil packs are removed. Okay, I got the last of the coil bolts out. Take the coil off, I think. Oh, nope, the whole module's coming with it. That's okay. Hey, there we go. These bolts are not all that good. Get the coil off here. The prongs on the coil don't look too bad. I do see a little bit of green in there though. Have to look for cracks on these later, see if they're any good still. Wasn't missing, no misfires. So I'm assuming these coils are still in good shape. Put them back on the module the way that they were in the car. That way, if you're doing this for the first time, you don't forget where they go. But they go like that. This is how they look when they're in the car. So 5-2, 3-6, 4-1. And you can see your connectors where they're located. Those look good. I don't see anything bad in there. Oh, that one's got a little bit of green in it. Not too bad though. I'm going to put these in the trunk now. So when that's out, you can see this is the connector that goes on the other side of that coil module. Here's our O2 sensor connector, so we can... Oh, has that got a lock on it? I think this one's got a lock. Yes, it does. My other one didn't have a lock. Oh. Or we can do that. It's off of the head now, I guess. Somebody, I think that's broke. Somebody's done that before. Our other 3 spark plugs are back there, still plugged in. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's take a walk to the other side. See what we can do here. Our main engine harness. This is power steering line, which looks like it's wrapped or attached to the engine. There's a bracket down there that holds it. Got that metal thing right there. We got our alternator connector here. We got to undo the actual power wire to the alternator. That might be it. Let's see if we can pull this off without... Oh, okay, I guess we can do it like that. Did it break? No, apparently it slides off, it looks like. Yeah, it slides off. Yeah, slide it off. Probably gonna need 2 hands for this one. There we go. So that's disconnected. And then we'll disconnect the alternator wire. Should be able to pull up on that tab. Push up. There we go. Power steering lines make it kind of tight. Apparently. There we go. And then we got to take this alternator power wire off, and that's probably going to be what? 13 maybe? Alright, so here's that alternator power wire. Looks like that. Once you get it off the bolt, there's a washer with it also. Make sure you put the washer and the bolt back onto your alternator so you don't lose it. And is that it? Is that the end of this mess? Is everything's disconnected? I think that's it. I think that's everything as far as sensor wise. I believe so. So next thing I'm going to do is get that vacuum hose off from the brake booster. Alright, so that's off. So once you get the clip down far enough, you really got to tug at that thing. It's kind of wedged on there pretty good. And let's see, so when that goes on, our spark plug wires go on top of it apparently. Okay, I guess we just set that over there for now. I lied, I forgot, we have the map sensor to do. So the map sensor, get those out of our way for now. There's 2, I think they're 7s if I'm not mistaken. 2 7mm bolts on the back side. Sensors here on the bottom, just push that little clip down. Should be able to wiggle that thing out of there. There is barely any wiring harness for that. It's a very small harness. So now let's get our 7. Get that little thing out of there. I have no idea how long this video is. I really wasn't planning on filming the step-by-step process, but you know, why not? 7? Yeah, they're 7s. And they're in a weird spot. Ugh. Probably gonna need 2 hands. 7mm screws loose. These really didn't come out too bad, actually. then your sensor is free once you unplug your little connector down there. You have to also remove the vacuum line on the back of that. Usually I can pull it, but you want to be careful because it might be too brittle and it might break the sensor. Yeah, this one doesn't want to move. So if that's the case, get your flathead screwdriver. Just try to pry it off a little bit. It's easier with two hands again because you could pull and pry. There we go, she's coming now. Hey. Map sensor. And then that little thin line connected to said map sensor runs all the way over here and goes to the fuel pressure regulator. Just pull that off, and there you go. There's your map sensor. Yay. And there's the connector. Alright, so I got our harness out of these connectors here, these little rings, you know, to hold them close to the engine and whatnot, and got them from underneath the one power steering line. So these are free. They're free over here except this vacuum line, and this is basically what controls the HVAC controls. It ties into the same harness here. So once that's out, then all of that is free. Nice. And then probably try to move them over this way. Oh, the O2 sensor's still plugged in. We could deal with that later. It's not really in our way at the moment. We could take our breather hose off. This, oh, actually it comes off pretty easy. My other one did too, and see the grommet looks good, so I don't have to find another one of these. I don't think it's cracked anywhere, so cool. Another part to add to the pile. And we could take our PCV hose off. The actual valve, I figured was going to come with it. It comes out of here also, and again that grommet looks okay. And it attaches to the purge for the evap. This hose was replaced. It is not the original squishy hose, but it looks like it's in good shape, so I don't care. Put that in the pile. And I guess we could take the evap off. Does it slide off? No. Okay, the Aztec was broken, so we actually have to remove the bolt there. Probably a 10. Alright, so we're getting our evap loose. One thing I noticed is the line looks like it wasn't connected to where it's supposed to be connected. So, oh, yep, hold on. It's broke. I wonder if it was like that. Yeah, it's cracked. So it probably just came right off of there. It is like a plastic-y type thing, so you can see once the bolt is off, it comes out. So I'm gonna have to go hunting for another one of these apparently. Take this bolt out of that bracket, put it back in so we don't lose it. Alright, so I'm starting to take these coolant hoses off because I'm going to remove the tank probably to get more room for other things here. So I moved the clamps already. Ooh, yucky. Plus the bottle, I want to wash the bottle out at some point. Alright, so there's that. And I gotta start working on getting that one off, but that clamp's in a pretty tough spot for what tools I have. Let's see if we can get that out of the way. Yeah. I think. Bottle's empty. Cool. There's our coolant sensor right there, by the way. Let's unplug that. The coolant for the warning light. And what's it take to remove that? Maybe a 10. And Is that it? A 10 and shake it out of that little notch there. Here's my 10. Might need an extension. So yeah, you just gotta try to, oops. You just gotta try to wiggle that part out of the body. That's it. Guess we could put that bolt back in. Alright, so now that the coolant bottle's out of the way, we'll just move the cruise control. Open that thing up. We have to unplug it. Maybe. The Aztec was a little more simpler to do with one hand. Okay. Get it over the top. There we go. So the cable's attached there. I guess that could just sit there, it's not going to hurt anything. Radiator hose, we got to take that off. This one goes to the radiator, so that could just sit here. I probably could leave that on. I probably don't have to actually mess with that, because that's connected to this water neck here, and that's going to come off. Yeah, I don't think I really have to mess with that. I'm going to leave it alone for now. I'm going to see how this plays out. I see that that line is in here, but I should be able to shake that out. Yeah, see? Okay. Or I could just completely take it off from there, but yeah, I'm not going to mess with that for now. Let's see what happens. We do have to take this line off. See if we can do this again with the, come on. Yeah, almost there. Nope. Right on top of that. There we go. These ridiculous pliers. Oh, there we go. She's coming. Cool. Alright, so from here, I'm going to take off the plate that holds the coil module and coil pack on. So there's two 10s here on the top, two 10s, and there's two more 10s down here at the bottom. They're on studs. I don't know if the whole studs are going to come out or not. It'd be nice if the studs stayed there and just the nuts came off, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So let's get our 10, move this stuff before it falls off. Okay, those top bolts are 10s, the ones that go here and there. The ones on the bottom are 13s. Use a deep well because, like I said, they're on studs. And I don't know if the stud's coming off or if it's going to be the nut. Is it the, let's see. It appears as though it might actually be the nut, I think. Oh no, cool. So the nuts came off the back. Alright, and at this point, oh, not quite. I forgot something. Gotta get this map sensor bracket off. It's kind of in the way. So that's one of the plenum bolts there, which means it should be 10. 10. Move that there, and now I should be able to shake that off. Right? Something else on there? Oh, what was that? Oh, I don't know. There we go. Boy, this feels like old times all over again. I think I seen what that was. There's two spark plug wire connector there. So what was this on? I think it was on that. It was under there, I think, for the back spark plugs. Alright, so take the nuts and put them back on the studs so we don't lose them. And we'll take these, they go in the plenum, the top half. This is a lot easier when you can actually see the back side of the engine and you know what you're looking at. Ugh. Nifty. Alright, so next up on the agenda is going to be the belt. Once the belt's off, I want to take a look and see what it looks like. Make note of the direction of the belt. So kind of pay attention to where the font is, what the font looks like. It's always a good idea to put the belt back on the same way you took it off. Tensioner is there. Use a 3/8 ratchet, or if you have a belt removal, a pulley tool, or whatever it is, tensioner tool, try to wiggle this thing in there. We've got our trusty black pipe. So, gonna need both hands for this. Trusty black pipe goes on ratchet. And then there, you can see I'm moving the belt. So if I put you guys down here for a sec, loosen that, and pull it off the alternator. Voila. And that's that. I do see some cracks in the belt, so we could probably add a belt to our list. I can just let the belt sit there for now. We haven't gotten to that far yet. So what I'm going to try to do now, and then I think I'm going to end up getting close to calling it a day soon. I think, yeah, we can get the plenum off anyway by the end of this. We're going to remove the alternator. We're going to remove this tensioner here, or not tensioner, pulley, and the actual belt tensioner itself. So the alternator is held on. We already disconnected our harness and our power wire, so there's nothing else connected to it. So there's this here, that's a 15, and then there's, I believe they're both 15s in the back. There's one here, and there's another one there, and that's, you're going to need a deep well for that one, and that's what holds that power steering line on too, from the looks of it. It's that bracket to the alternator. So let's get some stuff. I remember when I had to do the Aztec, this task here was a pain because the firewall, the alternator was right up against the firewall. Huge pain. How loose is that? Let's get the deep well on there. Do the other one. It looks like that's gonna be, that might be a whole stud on this one. I'm not too sure yet. Guess we'll find out here in a sec. And yeah, it's a stud. Okay, so that's off. Pull the power steering line up off of it, and looks like the rest of it doesn't come off, so that power steering thing just stays on there. I loosened up this front one already a little bit. Barely. Sorry. Should be able to move the alternator up. Oh, no. Guess we gotta take this out first. Man, I used up all my camera memory already. I got 4 minutes left. Stupid mosquito. Alright, she's free. I felt the drop. Okay. So now, lift it up over the stud. And there we go. It's a Delphi alternator. Cool. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set that there for a sec. Take this bolt, put it back where it belongs. Come on. Oh, you guys get the idea. That's good enough. Alright, and then we take that nut that came off, put that back on here. And then this is our other alternator bolt, and it should thread into this, I think. Yeah, it'll thread into the alternator on this one. Alright, so that's it. I'm going to have to wrap this vlog up for now because apparently I'm out of camera memory. So, I might stay out here for a little bit longer, go inside, or take this footage off the camera, and then I'm going to come back out here and I guess begin filming the next part of the vlog, which would be getting the rest of these pulleys off and this intake plenum. And then I think I'm going to call it a day. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how far I can go. I am hot though. The sun's killing me. So, stay tuned for the next round. If you guys enjoyed this vlog, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Check out teespring.com/stores/Mike's Vehicle Spotlight for all of your MVS and vlog merchandise. That's all that I've got for today, guys. So I will see you next time. I'll see you in the next part of this. In the meantime, take care.